Hello, everyone. My name is Darius Wilson, and this is my digital literacy biography. My first memories of reading, I was about 4 or 5 years old. I don't remember, but I do remember learning to read in kindergarten. Dr. Seuss was definitely one of my favorite authors. I really had a thing back then for books that rhyme. So, yeah, Dr. Seuss was definitely my main man. Oh, the Places You Will Go was one of my favorites. My earliest memories of reading are of me and my mom getting ready for bed, and she's tucking me in, and we're reading Brown Bear, what do you see? I see a blue jay looking at me. So those are some of my favorite memories. I really felt so proud learning how to read and how proud my mom and my grandmother and my aunts and uncles and everybody was just so excited that Darius could read, and I just felt really great about that. Which brings me to this book, The Shoelace Box. This book was actually my first text to self connection because at the time I could not tie my shoes and I was really, really frustrated with it. And the same thing was going on with the main character of this book. So, yes, I definitely enjoyed that. My grandmother and I would sit out on the porch on summer afternoons and read all of these books that incorporated our African American perspective. And that was something that really spoke to me. And that was another text to self connection that I had as well. Just reading books that I could really relate to, something that comes from our culture and something that just it was really a great experience to actually read books from my own culture. So I definitely appreciate that. My first memories of writing are these little penmanship sheets and just writing them over and over in class at school. One of the main obstacles that I had with writing was I always made my S's backwards. And I think I did it up until like the first grade. And then one day my mom was like, no, you can't do this. And so she scolded me. And then we had to keep writing it over and over and over. But I finally got it. I finally practiced and got it. So that's one of my first memories of writing. And of course, as my education has progressed on to middle school and on to high school and on to undergrad, and now that I'm in grad school, writing has definitely been a great part. But one thing, my personal journal has really been a big help for me. It just in my personal life and my personal writing definitely has been a great stress reliever for me in that. So that is how writing is currently relevant to me in my life. My first encounter with digital literacy was actually MySpace. So that was the whole thing in like eighth and ninth grade, and then it moved on to Facebook. And now the kids, they're doing the Snapchat and the Instagram and all of these different things. I can't keep up. But one thing that I've definitely tried to do this year is to incorporate social media into my classroom. I felt like I was beating a dead horse with trying to monitor phones and all of this stuff. And I was using more class time with classroom management with technology. If you can't beat them, hey, join them. So I actually have a Twitter wall in my classroom as well as a Snapchat bulletin board, and then my Facebook is my data wall. So incorporating social media into my classroom has really been a help with my students and their digital literacy. Also, this year we actually have a really big technology initiative, so we're using Canvas in the classroom as well for my middle schoolers. So that's something that's really interesting as well. Taking a step back to reading, one of my favorite books in high school was The Scarlet Letter. And I remember feeling so grown up and just so cool reading this scandalous book about the lady that slept with the pastor. And it was just a whole thing. So that's how I really fell in love with reading and reading literature. And I fell in love with Shakespeare and just all of these other stories as well. Which leads me to where I am today. So, just my overall goal as far as digital literacy is to eventually have a paperless classroom. Now, that's something that I want to do since my school has a technology initiative this year. That's something that I definitely want to work on. But just with digital literacy, whether it's reading or writing or speech or whatever the case may be, I just want to encourage my students to be the best that they can be. And that is my goal. So with just different projects, and here's a project that we did on the Wife of Bath's Tale. So we have the Wife of Bath and the Knight's Tale and their little illustrations. So just challenging my students to do different things with literacy, whether it's, reading or writing, and just to acknowledge their challenges, and just move them forward to the next level. That is my current literature story today. That is my literacy story today, is actually taking my love for literacy and putting it on my students somehow. So for the student who likes math or the student that likes science, I want that student to be excited about reading about literacy. And seeing some of my students graduate last year was really just a testament to me and how I made my kids love something. They passed my class and they're moving on to the next level. So I touched them somehow. And now the love that I have for literacy is the love that they have for literacy as well now. And so, yeah, that is just pretty much me in the nutshell. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening.